Good morning, fellow travelers, and welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living here on Airport Boulevard at 4 Points by Sheraton. So glad that you're with us this morning. My name is Marianne Atwell Hardy, and I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner here. And we are going to start, as we always do, with some quiet meditation. Meditation helps get us centered to let go of the busyness of the morning, of being able to, or whenever you're watching, being able to arrive, to open our hearts and minds, to hear that divine voice. So I'm going to talk a little bit, and then we will have about 15 minutes of quiet. So I don't know what your definition of God is or how you see God. If you see God as a ruler, a king, an emperor, a male, a female, somebody up there on a white cloud doling out favors. But here at the Triangle, we see God as everything. God is in all. As we say, there's not a spot where God is not. And that is, I was listening to a talk this morning, and that's often what the Quran says too. It begins most texts with the reference to God as a womb, that the cosmos is in God's womb. That everything is right there in terms of all we need to do is just relax because God is closer to us than the ocean is to the fish. But sometimes we don't know that. Sometimes we think we have to knock, kind of like in Matthew, knock on the door and it shall be open, ask and it shall be given. But what if it's already here? What if everything we need, we're swimming in it? So I found this by Rumi. It's a short little poem. It says, I have lived on the lip of insanity, wanting to know reasons, knocking on a door. It opens. I've been knocking from the inside. So it's like Bob Simon sings, why do we stay in jail when the door is wide open? So let's just relax into this moment, knowing that we are just swimming in love, swimming in God's amazing grace and mercy, and that we have all we need. So take that into meditation and see if there's some peace and calm within you. very, very deep breath. Let it all go. And just remember that we are co-creators with God, that all is possible as we are swimming in the power of creation that God has given us. So step out of your jail of worry thoughts and turn into the peace. Thank you for joining us for this meditation and for preparing your space and our space for what comes next. See you at 10:15.
was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. You gotta let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take. Bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. when, where, or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things.
Good morning, everyone. Ooh, it was really loud here. I don't know if it was loud where you all are out there, but it was really loud in here. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. Whether you have chosen to join us here in the sanctuary at 4 Points by Sheridan, or you have invited us into your homes, we are very glad that we are really participating in this event with all of you. This very glorious day today. A little bit chilly than it was yesterday, but still, all in all, a good God day. So thank you all so very much for being here. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Dusty Rippelmeyer, and I have the honor and the privilege of being this community's spiritual director. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that honors all paths and promotes global transformation through personal transformation. We are a spiritual community that can support you as you strive to experience a personal relationship with the divine, a spiritual community where you are respected and accepted just for being who you are, a space and place for inspiration, insight, and revelation, as well as loving support to grow into your highest and best self. No matter where you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. We are part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living, which is a global community of over 450 centers, teaching chapters, and special focus ministries in 30 countries worldwide. Centers for Spiritual Living is a practical and positive faith, philosophy, and way of life whose global mission is a world that works for all. Who doesn't want that? I have a couple of announcements for us this morning. This is really our final reminder from the pulpit of our homecoming service on Sunday, March 9th, which is next Sunday. If you are someone who used to attend our services but have not been coming for a little while, you have been missed. I mean, really, you have been missed. So we would love to see you. We would love to hug on you. We would love to sing with you, to laugh with you, to pray with you, and to break bread with you. So we invite you to come and experience your community again. Please consider joining us for this very special service. We will be hosting a community mixer with finger foods, appetizers and desserts afterwards, which will give us even more time to be able to connect. So I hope you can stay for that as well. Please consider joining us for a homecoming service on Sunday, March 9th. Please RSVP to info@trianglecsl.org. It's also a final reminder to all of our current members and our regular attendees to sign up to bring some kind of a savory food, a savory appetizer, or a dessert. We sent out an email to all of our current members and regular attendees with a link to something called the meal train. This will allow everyone to sign up to bring a food and or to volunteer to assist in this, what do you call them, event. I was thinking mixer. We're really hoping for a really big crowd, so it's really important that everyone really continues and to contribute and to sign up as soon as possible so that we can host a really delicious lunch and have plenty of assistance. I thank you all so very much ahead of time for your willingness to participate in that way. If you cannot find the link to the meal train, please reach out to Heather again at info@trianglecsl.org. Yeah, she didn't make a face or anything, so go ahead, write to her. Today, first Sunday of the month, so our flower dedication is for all of the people who are celebrating their birthday in March. Is there anyone in the room? Please raise your hand so that we can acknowledge you with a birthday in March. Yes. Is for all of you out there too. Please raise your hands if this is you, which I think I see a couple people out there. I invite the rest of us to hold our hands out to everyone and repeat after me. We see you. We know who you really are. We celebrate the day that you arrived on the planet. We are grateful for your presence in this community, and we love you. So if Sandy, maybe if you'll give us a little happy birthday, we could sing it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, March. Happy birthday to you.
Expanding the container that our service will unfold within. Thank you very much, everyone. And I would like to now invite the awesome Sean Shockey up for our announcements.
Dusty. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I'm reminded today that sometimes when you're not feeling 100%, that you're not alone. You're in a community where you've got other people supporting you. Not feeling 100% today, and I don't want to be pretentious, so I'm just letting you know. But I am here nevertheless, and I'm glad to see you all, knowing that although I'm not feeling everything today, I've still got a force that's with me. I call it that force that's behind it all. That I may have a face that I'm looking sad here, but that force is keeping me going. It is keeping me on top of things. Just because I wanted to stay at home today, I don't get to stay at home today. I have other things that I need to do. So, and I will get past, my being disappointed. I mean, the husband had a dispute this morning. So I promise you, I will get past it. Okay, let's do these announcements and get our day going, okay? Our Wednesday evening services for 2025 are called the Wednesday Experience. A look at life through meditation, musings, metaphysics, and magic. Each week, the evening will be facilitated by a host of ministers, practitioners, and others who will share an insightful, revealing, and perhaps provocative reading or story, and then facilitate a meditation. Following the meditation, we will all have an opportunity to share ideas with each other around the reading or story and whatever came up for us during the meditation. The service will once again be held on Zoom from 7 until 8:15. Okay. Number 2, this announcement is a reminder. Sunday, March 16th, we will be online only. We will not be here. 4 Points by Sheraton has a big event here that weekend, and our room will not be available. On that Sunday, Reverend Dr. Michelle Wadley will be speaking. Her message is entitled Homes, Holmes, Sweet Homes. Reverend Michelle is a pragmatic master teacher who unpacks spiritual concepts so they are applicable in everyday life. With a strong emphasis on emotional health, she will weave together a talk that speaks to spirituality and metaphysics to a powerhouse formula for living happy, fulfilled lives. Okay. She will also be hosting a workshop following the service on Zoom. The workshop is called By My Hands. It is powerful. It is a powerful exploration of the union between co-creation and personal responsibility within your lives. This word should be lives, right? Okay, within your lives, an immense creative force, one that becomes unstoppable when paired with full ownership of your choices and actions. The manifestation isn't just about envisioning, it is about claiming your role as both the architect and the builder of your reality. Together, we will anchor into the deep grounded principles that allow you to consciously shape your desired outcomes with clarity, intention, and power. Please mark your calendars to join Reverend Michelle and our community online on Sunday, March 16th for a very powerful day of deepening our everyday spirituality. And number 3, speaking of special speakers, mark your calendars for Sunday, March 30th, when our beloved Reverend Denise Schubert will be joining us to give the message and facilitate a workshop. Her talk title for the Sunday service is Blossoming Through Change, and the title for the workshop is Staying Spiritually Grounded Through Change. Both will be held here at 4 Points by Sheraton. The service is at 10:15 as always, and the workshop will begin at 12 and run through 2. There is a suggested $25 cost for the workshop. It will be an in-person workshop only. Please join us to welcome back in style. Please welcome Marianne Hardy to the stage. Okay.
Thank you, Sean, despite how you feel. Ah, dear ones. The theme for the year 2025 is Rising Higher, Growing Deeper. Our theme for the month of March is The Flow of Coming and Going. And Rev Dusty's message is Navigating the Tides of Life. I'm now going to read this community's purpose statement, which is our reason for being here. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God, the love intelligence that governs the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration, service, study, and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives and to being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. With the energy of unconditional love, simply, we are here for God. So I invite you to just get quiet, turn within, open your heart and mind, and allow the sounds of the crystal bowls to wash over you all the way to the end.
Okay, astral travelers, it's time to reincorporate. Reincarnate, I guess, is better. My name is Carol Cross. My pronouns are she and her, and I am a licensed practitioner here at the center. And it is always a delight to get to spend this special time with you all on Sunday mornings, even if it's happening at a different time, whenever it is that you're watching this film or video. Okay, so I'd like to invite up our volunteers, Janice and Mary, to assist me with one of our favorite activities, the Blessing of All Faiths. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors the diversity and threads of truth that run through all spiritual paths, as represented by this ceremony. Christianity is the path of Christ consciousness, love, and forgiveness. Buddhism is the path of compassion and understanding. Judaism is the ethical path of living by sacred law. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God, the highest calling. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Taoism is the natural way, the path of ultimate reality. Native American practice and shamanic traditions are the paths of primal spirituality. Shintoism is the path of tribal ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Science of mind and spirit is the path of the divine principle of love and law. And the heart represents the one heart, the one love that resides at the center of all people and all beings everywhere, with no exceptions. May peace prevail on earth through the followers of all paths. And so it is. Thank you so much, ladies. So now I ask that you close your outer eyes as I say a word of blessing on today's service. So in this morning's meditation, Marianne brought up this image of floating in the sea of spirit, the sea that is all around us, but also within us, the sea through which we move that contains everything in our lives, everything on this planet, everything in the universe, and everything within us. It's all good because it's all God. And so I'm just experiencing the ease and grace that comes when we surrender. Instead of trying to make things happen, instead of trying to do things, we just surrender to that spirit, that sea of spirit that holds us up and that gently leads us through our path. And what a wonderful feeling that evokes. Because I also know that it's a sea of love, it's a sea of power, it's a sea of joy and peace and beauty and wisdom. And I just get to flow with it. And I say this not just for me. I say that this is the truth for all of us, because we are all in that same sea of spirit. And we are all learning how to relax and trust and flow. And what a glorious feeling that is. So that is what I say we are doing here today. I think we are all surrendering to being led by the power and presence of Spirit. I say a word of thanks to all of the volunteers who support today's event. I say a word of thanks to Sean, who always brings his mini ministry to our announcements. A word of thanks to Heather as she does all of her technical magic that allows this service to transcend the walls of this room and to have the biggest possible impact in the world. I say a word of blessing on Marianne, who set us all up with such a powerful and lovely meditation this morning. I say a word of blessing on Sandy Hemingway, who is just such a gifted musician, as well as a wonderful human being. And I say a word of thanks to Reverend Dusty, knowing that she has surrendered to Spirit and will allow Spirit to communicate to each one of us that which we need to know to move ever more closely to our goal of a world that works not just for ourselves, but for all. So I know that this will be a glorious event, and ask you to affirm that with me, with our words, and so it is. Okay, so today's reading is from Beverly Joy, and it is a poem called The Ebb and Flow of Life. The ebb and flow, the highs and lows, the ins and outs that come and go. Some things change, some stay the same. We accept, then reject. Life fluctuates. Deep attachment to people and things brings such joy when it begins, and deep sorrow when we part with them, for in them emotional memories are embedded. Opposites attract. How bizarre is that? Why do I now hate what once I loved? Why do I cry at what once made me laugh and give away what I once treasured? Pain doesn't knock, then patiently wait. No, it forces its way through the door of my heart, then slams it shut as it runs back out, when the heart is lit with laughter and love. Like the bee that stings yet pollinates, the cat that purrs yet scratches with claws, the bird that chirps yet kills with its beak, the stones that step up yet crumble and fall. Like a roller coaster of emotions, the heights of joy, the depths of sorrow, the heights of love and peacefulness, the depths of turmoil and hatred. Like the ocean that flows in and out, the sun that shines, then in darkness hides. The fire that warms us to our soul, then reduced to ashes, leave us cold. Unlike an earthquake that destroys, yet creates a new landmass, the bushfire that disintegrates, yet regenerates the land. The storm that floods and destroys our homes, yet quenches the parched, thirsty earth. Like a rose that blooms beautiful and fragrant, then, bruised and wilted, is useless on its stem. The worm that eats our pot plants by night, then it transforms into a beautiful butterfly. Don't live in the shadows, afraid to love again, protecting your heart from being broken. Don't wash out with the tide, drifting away, far from family and friends who want you to stay. Live each moment in its fullness. Be upfront, central and present. Let the good and the bad wash through you. Accept the river of life's ebbs and flows. And so it is. All right. So, speaking of poetry, we have a poet who fortunately also knows how to play the piano really, really well to help us with this process of softening our hearts so that the seeds will bloom and when Dusty sprinkles them over us. So let's welcome our musician for today, the wonderful Sandy Hemingway.
Thank you. So this is a song I wrote 10 years ago in 2014, and it took me about 45 minutes to write it. It's called Let It Flow. Take a moment, take a breath. Silence all the voices in your head. You don't have to force it. You'll get to where you go Perfection is around you, let it flow. Find your feet, let it go. Perfection is around you, let it flow. Make a promise, make a vow. Don't believe the can't inside you now. You are just a channel, and God already knows. In your place of peace, you'll find the flow. Let it flow, let it flow. Perfection is around you, let it flow. Find your feet, let it go. Perfection is around you, let it flow. Let it flow, let it flow. Perfection is around you, let it flow. Find your feet, let it go. Perfection is around you, let it flow. Your doubts can be released when you find your place of peace. Perfection is around you, let it flow.
Thank you so very much, Sandy. It was beautiful, perfect song as always. Thank you, Reverend Sean, for your awesome announcements. Clearly, I'm going to have to bring my A game. So, as Marianne said, you know, we are beginning a new month with a new theme, the flow of coming and going. And there's a new message today entitled Navigating the Tides of Life. Now, I believe that we really can't have a conversation about navigating the tides of life without talking about water. Only makes sense. Water represents and embodies the source of all life and our deeper connection to everything and everyone. Water is also commonly depicted as a symbol of change due to its flow and movement. It's never constrained to just one location, and it's more than able to change in form to become a stream or a river or a pond or a lake or a waterfall or even the ocean. It could be mist or dew or sleet or snow or fog or rain. Water moves easily, adapting to any form to suit its environment or its temperature or climate. As Bruce Lee said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. If you put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it into a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Now his quote really describes the flexibility and the changeability of water. Water is so flexible that even if we were to push it away, it will find its own level and it will patiently wait with nothing solid able to get in its way. We can put up barricades, we can erect levees, We can make everything as waterproof as we could possibly make it, and yet with enough passage of time, the flexible quality of water will triumph. To be like water, we need to change and to grow with the circumstances of our lives. While we're not always excited about or really happy with the changes in our lives, the bottom line is that change is inevitable. There is no experience or condition in our lives that is permanent. Like water, we are constantly changing. Our lives, our experience of life is constantly changing. The invitation is to be flexible and fluid and patient and yielding and trusting and willing and less resistant and more open to new directions. And when we are, we will navigate through the tides, through the ebbs and flows or the changes in our lives with ease and with grace. This brings me to this idea of ebb and flow. It was talked about in the poem that Carol read earlier, ebb and flow. In short, the idiom ebb and flow really signifies a cyclical pattern of changes and fluctuations, or a series of recurrent events, a type of motion marked by a pattern of coming and going or rising and falling. A specific and very relatable example of ebb and flow are the tides, right? So think for a moment about the ocean. When the tide comes into the beach, it's called flow. When the tide goes out from the beach, it's called ebb. If we imagine ourselves standing on the edge of the shore, we can feel the sand is being pulled out from underneath our feet, right? And in that moment, we could really imagine that there is absolutely nothing that we could do that could stop the waves from rising, just as there's absolutely nothing that we could do that can stop them from crashing upon the shore in this cycle of ebb and flow. Waves have also been used as an example of of ebb and flow in various cultures and traditions throughout time. So not necessarily just the tide, but the waves themselves. To some, waves really represent this very chaotic and unrelenting force that can be both, on one hand, terrifying, and on the other hand, very uplifting. I love the waves myself. Love to play in them, love the sound that they make. Just love everything about them. But they can be a very unrelenting, powerful force. They can evoke a sense of wonder as well as a sense of fear and danger. They can be unpredictable and mesmerizing. They can be exciting and overwhelming. Waves can also represent the movement of water, the energy of the sea, and the power of nature itself. They can symbolize the mysteries of the ocean, the cycles of the seasons, and the unpredictability of change. For us in our everyday lives, waves can represent the ebb and flow of life itself. They represent the ups and the downs, the highs and lows, the peaks and the valleys of our lives on the planet. As we all know, we've been through many of those, right? Just as waves rise and fall, our experience of life also has its oscillations, its own ups and downs, highs and lows, peaks and valleys. Both are in a constant state of change, and both have movements of calm, and both have movements of turbulence. I believe that in order to really understand how to navigate the tides of life, that it would behoove us to really understand the symbolism of waves as a metaphor. By understanding the symbolism behind waves, we can learn to navigate our experiences wholeheartedly, knowing that each wave is actually a stepping stone toward something greater. By understanding the symbolism of waves, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world that we live in. By better understanding the symbolism of waves, we can really start to see life in a whole new way. For example, I mentioned that water can be a symbol of change, so it would only make sense that waves would be a symbol of change. They remind us that nothing in life is permanent and that everything is in a state of constant flux. Waves teach us to embrace change and to go with the flow. Sandy sang about it. To embrace the change and to go with the flow. Just as waves are constantly changing, life is full of changes and transitions. Some changes we might call positive, and we actually invite them into our lives, while other changes we might call negative, and we experience them as very difficult challenges. However, like waves, we must learn to adapt and to go with the flow in order to be able to overcome those challenges. Overall, waves remind us that change and transition are a natural part of life. Number 2, waves are a symbol of power and strength. I mean, you can feel that as you stand on the shore and watch them come in and go out. They are a symbol of power and strength. The raw energy, right? The raw energy that's contained within each wave is a reminder that there are forces at work in the world that are much greater than we are. Just as waves crash against the shore with an unyielding power, we too can tap into an inner power and strength to overcome the challenges and the obstacles that come on our path. We have that ability to tap into that inner power and strength. Number 3, waves symbolize transition and renewal. Think about how a wave breaks and then it reforms. A new one reforms in the place of the breaking one. We have that same ability to let go of the past and actually embrace new beginnings. The ocean teaches us that change is inevitable and that by embracing it, we can experience personal growth, transformation, and evolution, both individually and collectively. Waves remind us that even in the face of uncertainty, there is always an opportunity to begin again, to begin anew from a completely blank slate. Number 4, one of the most profound lessons that we can learn from waves is the importance of flow and adaptability. Waves effortlessly navigate around or sometimes even through obstacles, seemingly adjusting their shape and direction to find the path of less resistance. In a world that's constantly changing, being able to adapt and to go with the flow is essential for each and every single one of us. The waves remind us to let go of our rigid expectations and to trust in the process of life, to trust in the fluidity of life. When waves feel chaotic, the invitation is to surrender. Just to surrender and to trust in that process. This doesn't mean that we do not take action, but rather that we treat and move our feet. Not from a place of fear, but from a place of knowing who and whose we are, from a place of knowing our place in the flow of life. Number 5, waves represent resilience. They teach us that even in the difficult times, we have a strength within us to overcome challenges and to keep moving forward. Waves remind us that we are truly capable of weathering any storm. Number 6, waves are a symbol of balance. They represent the harmony between that ebb and flow, between the peaks and the valleys. Waves teach us that we need to find a balance in our own lives, a balance physically, mentally, spiritually, that we need to practice radical self-care in how we treat ourselves and others, and in how we find time for work and play, right? We need to find a balance in our lives. Number 7, waves represent letting go. Think about the waves that crash on the shore, right? As they leave the shore, they leave behind what no longer serves them. I love walking up and down and looking for shells or looking for interesting kinds of things that the waves have left. So they leave behind what no longer serves them. As they continually crash upon the shore, they erase what was and make room for what is coming. Make room for something new. Make room for what life will be. In life, we also must let go of what no longer serves us. Letting go really allows us to move forward and to make room for new things. And lastly, waves symbolize connection and oneness. Waves remind us that we are all interconnected, just like each and every single wave in and of itself is independent, and yet it is part of the whole that is the ocean itself. Unique, but part of the whole, just like we are. Unique, individualized expression of the divine, and yet part of the whole that is the divine. Now, I know how y'all like the practical side of life, so here's a few ways to assist us to navigate the tides. The first is to trust the universe. Trust the universe. Easy to say, not always easy to do. When we're feeling lazy or unmotivated or sad, or when life isn't really what we want it to be, the invitation is to allow that current to take over. To have the faith of God. Not just the faith in God, but the faith of God. And to allow the universe to get us to where we ultimately want and need to be. The invitation is to know that we live in a universe that is always for us and never against us, and that there is nothing too big or too small in God. To remember that our lives happen in cycles, and that we are not going to be in the struggle forever. The invitation is to remember that this too shall pass. And have faith. To let go, surrender, and have faith. Once again, this does not mean that we do not take action. We do, but from a deep awareness of the omnipresence and the omnipotence of the divine. And to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that anything is possible. We can't always see that possibility because of the limits of our imagination, but anything is possible. The second is to practice gratitude. When we are experiencing a challenge, it feels like our whole world is crumbling. So the invitation is to find something in our lives that is going well, or something in our lives that we can find and generate some amount of gratitude for. Maybe we're deeply grateful for our health. Everything else might be falling apart, but my health is great. Maybe we're deeply grateful for our children, or for that first cup of coffee in the morning, or for a cool breeze in the springtime, or for a beautiful sunrise or a sunset, or for life itself. There is always something to be grateful about. And so the invitation is to find that something. Find a space and place for our gratitude can really remind us that even in the struggle, there are things to be grateful about, things to be grateful for. And you know what? That can make all of the difference in the world. It truly can. The third is to let go of our resistance, to stop fighting, and to really surrender to the perfect now moment. When we are in that space and place of so much resistance, that's the only thing that our focus is on. And we all know what happens when we put our focus on something. We cause more of that thing to be in our lives. So really, the invitation is to let go of our resistance. When we feel like we're battling with life itself, sometimes it's best to just lay down the swords. When we feel like everything is uphill, or that we're going against the wind, or that we're not in the flow, it's important to remember the delicate balance between surrender and determination. Every crest and trough, every high and low, right? Every ebb and flow becomes an opportunity to really redefine who we are, to step into a new beginning, to see where we are headed and make any changes that we want or need to make. The invitation is to embrace the challenges, to recognize that every wave is an opportunity to get stronger and to learn to ride them with grace. You're all looking at me like, she crazy today. The fourth idea is to accept that life is not permanent. I don't like what's happening now, but I don't like the weather here today, but I just wait for a moment. It's not going to last. It'll change. Tomorrow will be different. I'll like tomorrow's weather better, right? The bottom line is that life is not linear. It's cyclical. Everything has a beginning and an end, and it cycles through our experience of life again and again and again and again. The invitation is to allow ourselves to sit with our life and its impermanence, and to really try to view it from a higher view, from the bigger picture. The invitation is to remember that life will be unpredictable. And for each of us to stay flexible and be willing to adjust our course if necessary. Sometimes all it takes is just a really subtle little pivot, and you go out from there and it becomes something really dramatic, right? It's not just about reaching the destination. It's really about who we become along the way. Who we become along the way. John Neff, in an article called The Ebb and Flow of Existence, Navigating Life's Peaks and Troughs, says, life, in its infinite complexity, is a mosaic of moments that ebb and flow like the tides of fortune. It is a journey marked by peaks that offer panoramic views of joy and troughs that plunge us into the depths of challenge. This undulating landscape is the essence of our existence, a testament to the dynamic nature of the human experience. As we traverse the path of life, we encounter the inevitable ups and downs that shape our narrative. These fluctuations are not mere happenstance. Did you hear me? They're not mere happenstance, but integral threads woven into the fabric of our being. The ups and downs are the crescendo in our symphony, the time when everything aligns and we bask in the warmth of success and happiness. They are the moments that lift us, that give us a glimpse of what's possible when the stars align in our favor. Conversely, the downs are the diminuendos, the periods of contraction where life seems to conspire against us. They are the times when the light dims and our spirits wane, when the weight of the world feels heavy upon our shoulders. These are the moments that test our mental, that force us to dig deep into the reservoirs of our resilience. And we do have a reservoir of resilience. We have a reservoir of resilience within us, a power and strength that is greater than any power and strength that there ever was. Any challenge that we could ever come against is no match for the power and strength within us. For our ability to adapt, for our ability to overcome, for our ability to be resilient in the face of an obstacle. Now, the bottom line is that nature is a very powerful teacher. It shows us that nothing remains constant, that just as the seasons change, so do our circumstances. Just as waves continue to crash on the shore and are received back into the sea, we must learn to embrace the changes in our lives. To let go of what no longer serves us, to find balance and adaptability, and to move forward with grace and resilience. Waves can teach us that we can embrace the ebb and flow of life, both the pleasant and the unpleasant, with power, strength, and transformation, leaning into our deep and abiding connection with life itself. That is where our power lies. That is where our strength lies. Nature's constant cycle and perfect example reminds us that our path has never been, nor will it ever be, static. It wasn't meant to be static. Nature's constant cycle and perfect example can teach us that we can absolutely learn to navigate the tides of life. And so it is. So it is. So I just invite everyone to close your outer eyes and to turn within. To allow ourselves a moment of deep awareness of that power and presence that is within us and surrounding us. To feel its energy, to feel its warmth, to feel its peace, to feel its joy, to feel its power, and to know, absolutely know, that it is who and what we are at our very core, that we were created by this power and presence in its image and likeness. And so we too have that power and strength within us. We can never be separate from it. It is always there, always present, always ready, willing, and able to assist us through any high or any low, through any ebb or flow, through any peak or valley. We are never alone. As Sean said earlier this morning, we are never alone. That power and presence is always with us. It is always the wind at our back. And so what I claim for each and every single one of us today, whether you're here in the room or you're listening online, is ease and grace. Ease and grace about really allowing ourselves to be like water, allowing ourselves to be like waves, to recognize the importance of letting go, the importance of adaptability, the importance of not being in resistance, the importance of surrender. To know that we have an ability to step into that power and presence that is within us, to invite it to lead the way in our life. To really know who and whose we are. To be resilient. To be powerful. To allow change, to bring forward all of the really wonderful newness that it can present to us. To welcome it. To not be afraid, but to powerfully know who we are. And I'm so grateful to know this truth and to speak these words. So grateful for the power of prayer, knowing that these words are loosed into a law that only ever says yes. That my words are clothed in form even as they are spoken. And so I speak them and I release them into that law, letting go and letting God be God. And I invite each of us to anchor this prayer for ourselves, for each other, for our community, and for the world, simply by saying, and so it is. Amen. Thank you all so very much. It is now time for our conscious giving. And this is the time each week when we offer our financial assistance to assist this community to continue to be a beacon of light and warmth and love in the Greater Triangle area. Together we affirm the truth that this offering lifts this spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and adds to the energy of sufficiency on the planet. There are 3 ways that you can give. They're here on your screen or on your screens at home. Visit our website at trianglecsl.org. There are many different places on the website that say give, and you can just click on one of those. You can text the word give to 919-629-9148, or you can actually mail a check to our PO Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina 27519. I thank you all for your generosity, and I invite you to take your gift with an affirmation for yourself or someone else. Place it against your heart and repeat our offering affirmation in a call and response. I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life. I give with gratitude, knowing that God is my source. And so it is. So it is. Thank you all again so very much. And now let's please be generous as we welcome Sandy back to his piano.
The power is not from within, and it's not from afar. It's a force that surrounds us and binds us everywhere that we are. And though it may seem the light comes from above, it rocks and consoles me, embraces and holds me, for the light is true love. cannot escape the bright rays of the love that you shine. Even though that I know as I warm in the glow that the light is not mine, but I get to choose how far I will go. To be a small glimmer or stand tall and shimmer like a full moon about to explode. I am the moon, I am the moon. I reflect all the love and the light that you are. I am the moon, I am the moon. The gifts I seem to possess are drawn from your star. The ebb and the flow of all that I know and all that I feel, it serves as a guide as I flow with the tide for the one love that's real. Power is not from within, and it's not from afar. It's a force that surrounds us and binds us everywhere that we are. And though it may seem the light comes from above and rocks and consoles me, embraces and holds me, for the light is true love. The light is true love. The light is true love. The light is true love.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandy, for being both our moon and our star. Okay, so as Reverend Dusty mentioned in the talk, one of our big practices here are treat and move your feet. But why treat alone when you've got a whole crew of professional prayers willing to pray with you? So if you would like to get that prayer dream team on your side, you can go to our website at trianglecsl.org, and there's a button. You click on prayer request, you fill out the prayer request, and then it gets sent to all of us practitioners and ministers, and now you got even more force behind what you're going for. And Reverend Dusty also talked about gratitude. So a practice we have here as a way to show gratitude for something or someone is to buy a flower dedication. So if you would like to do that, if you'd like to express your gratitude publicly and in a beautiful format, then you can contact Heather Abbott at info@trianglecsl.org or Reverend Dusty at dustyrippelmeyer@yahoo.com. All right, so now it is time for our affirmations. We've got a new batch this month, so everybody should be really excited this time because it's new and different. So you're going to rise up, and we do this as a call and response, so I go first, and then you, and you got to, even if you're not feeling it, you're going to fake it till you make it. All right, but most of these I'm sure you're going to feel. Even though I live in a world full of noise and distractions, I choose to get quiet and listen for my inner wisdom.
Even though I live in a world full of noise and distractions, I choose to get quiet and listen for my inner wisdom.
By doing so, I'm reminded of and embody my oneness with life.
By doing so, I am reminded of and embody my oneness with life.
Even though I live in a world of constantly changing tides, I choose to remember that change is a natural part of life.
Even though I live in a world of constantly changing tides, I choose to remember that change is a natural part of life.
By by doing so, I'm able to navigate the tides and stay true to and aligned with my divinity.
By doing so, I am able to navigate the tides and choose to align.
Today, I surrender to the presence of God within me as me.
Today, I surrender to the presence of God within me as me.
By doing so, I experience comfort in the discomfort, peace in the chaos, stillness in the noise, and sway in the flow of life.
By doing so, I experience comfort in the discomfort, peace in the chaos, stillness in the noise, and sway in the flow of life.
And so it is. All right. You may sit down and close your eyes one last time for our prayers of gratitude for today's service. And what a gift today has been. Because my experience, at least, right now is there's a lot of noise and chaos and stuff in my material world. And I so appreciate the reminder that I can handle that. I can surf on top of it all rather than get swallowed up with it. And so I'm feeling that in this moment. I'm feeling that alignment with divinity that we just spoke of. Which means I am not aligned with the chaos and the noise and the frustration and the upset. I am aligned with the peace, with the certainty, with the eternal, with the beautiful, the good, with spirit. And that is the way I choose to live my life. And because we are all one, because we are all connected, because we are all one big organism with many, many different faces, I assert that this is the truth for every one of us. So that I know that we go forward from here with more tools in our toolkit to maintain that alignment with spirit, despite whatever is going on in our material lives. And that is how we rise up in our own lives, how our community as a whole rises up, how our world as a whole rises up. And that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for these teachings. I'm so grateful for these times together. I'm so grateful for this toolkit. And I'm so grateful that it keeps me and our community on the path towards the world that works for everyone. So, knowing that this is in divine order, I turn these intentions over to the law that always says yes, and ask you to join me in affirming this with our words, and so it is. Thank you.
So thank you all again for your presence here or for inviting us into your home. Thank you to all of the volunteers that made this day possible. Thank you very much to Sandy for his beautiful music, for Carol and Marianne for all of the work that they do and who they are in this community, for Heather for making us all look good, and for each and every single one of you for being here. Happy birthday again to all of the March birthday babies. We love you, and I love all of you, whether your birthday's in March or not. Have a good week. See you later.